Hello and welcome to another video from No Nonsense Gaming. Today, we delve into the captivating world of Elden Ring to uncover the precise locations of all 18 Larval Tears. A Larval Tear is a key item which can be exchanged with Rune to grant rebirth and re-spec your character. Without wasting any more of your time, let's get straight to the point. Aegil Lake south side of Grace in Limgrave is the area in which the player should start their search for first Larval Tear. The item is dropped by a lesser runebeard disguised as a lone sword-wielding wandering noble. He will be standing directly east of the Aegil Lake south side of Grace. Upon interaction, the wandering noble will transform into a lesser rune bear. Kill it and it will drop a Larval Tear. Travel northeast from Folly on the lakeside of Grace in Luirnia of the lake for the next Larval Tear. It's dropped by a Grafted Scion disguised as a giant crayfish patrolling around the gazebo between Rose Church and Boil Prawn Shack. There are 4 giant crayfish in this area, 3 of them are sleeping, and 1 is patrolling. The disguised Grafted Scion is the one patrolling. Kill the crayfish and it will transform into a Grafted Scion. Upon eliminating the Grafted Scion, it will drop a Larval Tear. Village of the Albinaurics is the area in which the player should look for the next Larval Tear. The item can be found in the graveyard near the site of Grace. To get the next one, players should visit the Artist Shack in Luirnia of the lake. Then get the resurrection painting from the shack. And solve the puzzle attached to the painting. The puzzle can be solved by visiting the graveyard on the south of Caria Manor. Behind Caria Manor is the nearest site of Grace. This area can only be reached after defeating Royal Knight Loretta. The resurrection painting puzzle can be solved by touching a ghost sitting on a chair at the graveyard. The ghost disappears as soon as you touch it, and the Larval Tear will appear on the ground along with a juvenile scholar cap and juvenile scholar robe. Royal Moongazing Ground site of Grace is the area in which the player should start the search for next Larval Tear. It can be purchased from Merchant Pidia. He can be reached after defeating Royal Knight Loretta, then jumping down the cliffs from the southeastern side of the Three Sisters sub-area onto a balcony. Follow the path as shown in the video to avoid confusion. The cost of a Larval Tear will be 3,000 runes, and you can buy it only once. Cathedral of Dragon Communion site of Grace in Caelid is the area in which the player should start looking for the next Larval Tear. The item is dropped by a troll disguised as a wandering noble by the stone coffins on the cliff found southwest of the cathedral. Upon interaction, the wandering noble will transform into a troll, and killing the troll will give you a Larval Tear. The ruins north from the Rampart side path side of Grace and Altus Plateau is the area in which the player should start their search for next Larval Tear. The item is dropped by a lion guardian disguised as a wandering noble cowering in a corner of the ruins. Upon interaction, the noble will transform into a lion guardian, and killing it will grant you another Larval Tear. Road of Iniquity Site of Grace at Mount Gelmir is the area in which the player should start the search for next Larval Tear. It is dropped by a Wormface disguised as a flaming putrid corpse east of the Road of Iniquity Site of Grace. The enemy is next to the first fire of the ruined camp. Upon interaction, the flaming putrid corpse will transform into a Wormface and you have to kill it to get the Larval Tear. Try to maintain a distance from it to avoid being death-blighted. Enter Consecrated Snowfield Site of Grace at Consecrated Snowfields is the area in which the player should start the search for next Larval Tear. The item is dropped by a lesser runebearer disguised as a wandering noble. They can be found on the southeast of the Site of Grace. The disguised bearer is half buried in snow, with two nobles standing next to it. Upon interaction, the half-buried wandering noble will transform into a bear, and taking the enemy out will grant you another Larval Tear. Siofra River Bankside of Grace and Siofra River region is the area in which the player should start his search for next larval. One Larval Tear can be purchased from the Nomadic merchant in Siofra River, but it's very hard to find this merchant on a normal playthrough. Follow the path as shown in the video for avoiding confusion. If you are new to this channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell icon for more Elden Ring guides and tips.
Hello again, good customer.
The Larval Tear will cost you 3,000 runes, and you can buy it only once from the merchant. For Larval Tears can be collected from Nokron Eternal City, and the nearest Site of Grace also go by the same name as the region. The first one can be found on a corpse inside the stone building southeast of the Site of Grace. Another one is found on a corpse in the middle of a gazebo just before the boss room from Larval Tear fight in Nokron. Follow the path as shown in video. When approaching the corpse, silver tears will fall down from the ceiling. 2 more Larval Tears will be dropped by Larval Tear when defeated, and it can be found in the boss room next to the gazebo. Upon defeat, it will drop 2 Larval Tears along with a silver tear mask. Ancestral Wood Site of Grace in Night Sacred Grounds region is the area in which the player should start the search for the next Larval Tear. The item is dropped by a silver sphere in Night's Sacred Ground. To reach there, follow the path as shown in the video. Eliminate the sphere in the middle of the room and it will drop a Larval Tear. This enemy can be fought multiple times, but it will only drop the Larval Tear once. Nokstella Eternal City Site of Grace is the area in which the player should start the search for the last 3 Larval Tears. There are 3 Larval Tears in Nokstella, and all 3 of them are found by going on the same path. Follow it as shown in the video. First one is dropped by a silver sphere on the bridge. If you are new to this channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell icon for more Elden Ring guides and tips. The next one is dropped by a silver sphere hanging from the ceiling in the northeast building after the bridge in Nokstella, Eternal City. You can deal damage to it at range, but don't land the killing blow while it's still on the ceiling, because the dropped item will be unreachable. The last one is dropped by a silver sphere after the bridge and up the stairs in the building immediately after reaching the top. But don't land the killing blow while it's still on the ceiling, because the dropped item will be unreachable.